everyone, and welcome to BOL Diamond Week 5 here. I am Cam Com, joined by Gopherino on the main broadcast. We've got MSU Blåhaj taking on Goth Boi Clique. Last week, we saw Goth Boi Clique take down the undefeated CB Diamond in a 2-1 fashion. MSU, I do believe, lost to a VBU Infusion last week in O2. So now we're kind of sitting. I still call these two teams middle of the pack. I think we talked a little bit about power rankings on the official broadcast. I moved Goth Boi up to third. MSU, they still got a high ranking because of their logo. Still got the best logo, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree because it definitely feels like there happens to be like three main cliques of like teams in the
Mhm.
league. You have your top dogs, your middle dogs, and then the bottom dogs. I guess that sounds a little insulting, but
Oh
bottom
no.
dogs. Yeah. Either way, though, seeing some familiar faces on the board here
Mhm.
with that Zeri being taken off the board. Super prio pick when it comes to all levels of play, it seems. And I don't know if this is just a bit of a hiccup on production end or if
No.
Goth Boy Click.
So yeah, I was going to talk about that. Goth Boi is playing with an E sub here tonight,
Okay.
so they do lose the first 2 round bans in all 3 games if this goes to 3 games, or 2 games if it is only a 2 game series here tonight. So I didn't check which player that is. I can check that here in a minute. I think no, it's top lane. Yes, I was actually told that. I remember now it was top lane. So they are playing with a different E sub top laner here tonight.
All right. Yeah. Things do happen sometimes. Either way, though, with those missing bans, that always does always open up the question of what does slip through the cracks here that
Mhm.
normally does not, because we know a lot of teams here in the CBL Diamond League tend to just do a lot of focus fire bans. We will see general meta bans, but usually it's about a 50-50 mix between the more meta picks that are banned away and then more personal picks that some of these players tend to pilot pretty damn well. The single ban for Goth Boi Clique is going to be the cat here in this first phase, and curious to see what the first lock-in is. Lock-in is here. I'm kind of resting on maybe a jungler. Okay, not the
Okay.
jungler I expected, but
Yeah, Nocturne is a very fun jungler. He's gotten a little bit more popular on the patch 12.5b is the one that we're playing on here still. So, with I don't think he got any changes. I'm like pretty sure he didn't. I've just started to see him being picked a whole lot more recently in the past week, and I'm yet to figure out why. He's obviously really good in all in and split push compositions because you can send him in a side lane. He's not gonna have TP, but he's the only jungler that can really be reliably sent bot lane when Baron is alive because he can run up a little bit past the river, ult, and then he's at the Baron.
yeah, I know part of it is after the fighter item like mini-ish rework. Strikebreaker is now being explored more and more on
Oh,
Nocturne
okay.
after the whole Gore Drinker thing. Um, I'm not entirely sure either. It might just be a bit of a hidden thing where it's like it's been pretty decent for a while, but now people are just starting to pick up on it. Another pick here, this Hecarim, I know was also a little bit of a sleeper power pick for the past couple of patches, and then in the past like 1 or 2 patches, teams started catching on to, hey, this is still that pretty damn flexible jungler that can be that tank, that can be that frontline, that can be bruiser if need be, and brings a lot to the team. Just to see how it matches up into the Nocturne, though, because both the Hecarim and Nocturne, a little bit known for power farming to level 6, so maybe it'll
Let's
be a little quieter.
go. Oh my goodness. A bird gets his Aurelian soul. I'm so excited. Go for it. I think it was TDS that was casting with me when we were casting MSU with their Aurelian soul. They got it 2 games, I believe, in the games that we were casting. Hold on, let me check this real quick. Yes, it was the 2 games that they had against Acclivity. A bird won both games. The first game going 11, 2, and 14 on the Aurelian Soul. The second game having a slightly more supportive KDA 2, 3, and 5. A whole lot less of a spicy game, but it made it through the ban phase. They decided to not ban the Aurelian Soul away with their one and only ban, and Lucian pops up. Now, I do know that Lucian was just buffed on the most recent patch.
Yeah, and we have been seeing the Lucian a little bit more in the bot lane nowadays. After the buffs, The Aurelion Soul, like you said, is going to be the most interesting thing here, especially since it is combined with the Nocturne, because both the Aurelion Soul and Nocturne can join fights from a long way away,
Yes.
whether it's with the Paranoia or the I forget what the Aurelion Soul is called. Soar, take flight. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had a cast in Aurelion Soul. If but that kind of goes to show just how rare of a pick the Aurelion Soul is.
Yes.
It's going to be matched with the Lysandra, though. We'll see if the Lysandra can keep that Aurelion Soul in check here, or if that Aurelion Soul is going to be unlocked to just do Aurelion Soul things across the map.
So far, every single game that it has been left unbanned against MSU, it was because the enemy team had ban losses. So that is
Yeah.
also a funny note to add on to it. It has literally been banned every other game except for game one where Lotus lost to it, and then they're like, guys, you gotta ban the Aurelion Soul. They put that in the interview. Everyone's been banning it since, except for teams that literally have ban losses, and that is when a
Yeah.
bird pulls it out every single time. And we saw Acclivity try to counterpick it with the Fizz. I remember that so well because I was like,
Mm.
dang, that's like a really good counterpick into Aurelion Soul. It's a really good vacuum matchup for Fizz. And it just didn't work out. You know, like the
Yeah.
Fizz, he got so far behind. He was such a useless champion in that game. There was just no way to come back into the game for him.
Yes.
Lysandra, I am very worried, is going to be a similar story. Again, I think it's a really good vacuum matchup for Lysandra. Lysandra does have a whole lot more team utility just in case she does get behind. Fizz really doesn't. So hopefully it works out slightly better for her. But Tark,
Mm.
I have not seen a Tark in years.
So I can see the Tarek here because you can put the Dazzling Gleam on the Hecarim, get that extra engage when the pony does gallop on in. But the most important thing is going to be that Cosmic Radiance ulti, because if you time that as soon as the Paranoia is popped, the Nocturne gonna be kind of flying in and not really doing a whole lot of anything because you're literally not doing any damage. And when a Nocturne's not able to one-shot those Jinx on the backline, that makes things a little bit harder for the Nocturne. Of course, the Tarek gonna be a little bit hard to pilot. Very timing intensive with both the E
Yes.
and the ulti, but eh.
Braum is going to be the support counterpick of choice for MSU. Typically, any enchanter can counter Tark really well, and Nami Lucian is also a very strong bot lane. So I would be curious as to why. Oh, never mind. I see it now.
Yeah,
They
the
banned
fishing.
Nami. I'm smart. Okay, they did ban the Nami. So yes, Braum is another excellent choice to pick instead. And Gragas, big beefy tanky boy Gragas, picked up there for them in the top lane. Goth Boi saving their east of top laner R5 counterpick here. What is it gonna be?
Yeah, unless it's okay. I was gonna
Okay.
say maybe if it's the Lysandra top, and I know there are still some mad lads who go the Tarek top. Um, very rare sort of pick though, and the Camille much more expected here. Gonna match well into the Gragas because the Gragas typically tends to itemize much more health, and Camille with the Divine Sunderer able to chip through a metric ton of health here, Camcom. So
Yes.
it's gonna give you that strong split pushing pressure, and Goth Boi Clique with the Lysandra with the Camille definitely have a lot of single target lockdown here. If anyone on MSU Blåhaj happens to get a little overfed or problematic.
Yeah, it's a lot of single target, but not a whole lot of AoE. So if you are only looking for a pick comp, then Goth Boi would be really quite strong at it. But I am it's not so much a team fight comp as a 1-4 with Camille splitting in a side lane, right? Where usually it is hard to have a 1-4 comp into a Nocturne, where Nocturne would obviously be very easily able to pick off your one member on the side lane. But Camille and a Nocturne, I do think, is an actually slightly favored matchup towards Camille. So that is probably why they saved that for R5.
Yeah, the Camille. Once the Camille does hit their stride and has about an item and a half at least under their belt and some levels, can really pull off those 1v2s in the side lane. Of course, if we're talking about that pre-level 6 Camille, if it's just a Camille sitting on, say, I don't know, just some Triforce components or, say, some Divine Sunder components, much easier to burst that champion
Mm-hmm.
down in the side lane. But, of course, that's going to be something that we see how it shapes up as it goes on. That was a bit of a wordy sentence, and my English teacher would chastise me for that. I think that's the word.
Hey,
Either way.
that's a fancy word. That would get you extra points on an English test.
Oh,
Anyways, go for Reno. We've got predictions here on the table. I seem to remember that this was a very decisive matchup predictions wise towards Goth Boi. Yes, only one person predicted MSU to win this matchup, that being Bully. Hopefully he explained his reasoning on Auto Attack. I was unfortunately not quite able to listen to it, but you and I have both put Goth Boi. Do you predict Goth Boi for winning this game one here?
When I look at the picks here, I do like Goth Boi's composition more. They have that nice they have a very long range identity. Well,
Mm-hmm.
pseudo long range identity. You have this hyper carry Jinx. You have plenty of dive onto the back line. You have ways to set up this Jinx, but you also have plenty of ways to protect the Jinx, thanks solely to the Taric, to deal with any sort of pesky Nocturnes or Gragas or Gragai, I guess technically, because Cactus Cacti, Gragas Gragai, who happen to fly into the back line here. Of course, these two teams, I do feel like, even though Goth Boi Clique is favored overall in this
Mm-hmm.
Camcom, it's not entirely favored to them.
Okay.
It's like a 55-45 sort of deal. It's not
Okay.
like one of the more one-sided ones where like, yeah,
Yeah.
this team's probably got an 8% chance to win tonight. Not so much here.
I mean, a bird, he got his Aurelian Soul, man. That just instantly makes me like their comp more and instantly makes me want to vote for them for winning this game one here. Like, maybe they'll win this game one and then Goth Boi is going to be forced to use their one ban on the Aurelian Soul. That is going to be quite funny to see if that is what happens. But my official prediction, based on absolutely nothing else but the one champion, looking at no other champions, is going to be for MSU Blåhaj. With that, we will be going to a short break here now as we head into spectator delay. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here in just a couple minutes. Hello, everyone, and welcome back now on to the Rift once again. I'm Cam Com, joined by Goth. We've got MSU Blåhaj on the blue side, Goth Boi Clique on the red side, and I think that there's going to be some level 1 shenanigans right here, Goth.
There's at least a very big comet coming down the mid lane. Just meow.
Oh, okay, it landed on the Hamlet there, and Hamlet, she's just going to be forced to flash.
Should
One
be.
more auto attack
Oh, no.
from Trombone, not going to land, and that is the level 1 that I like to see.
Wait, now
right
the
there.
Z? Now the Z, you know you want to flash auto attack. Even though they probably heal.
No.
But yeah, because I was thinking like, okay, yeah, Hamlet's fine here. They just walk back to turret, but I kind of also forgot just how damn big that galaxy can be. Turns out space is a big place.
Yeah, so, you burned your flash on Trombone. I just noticed Kaysel doesn't even have flash. He has Ignite, and you also burned flash there on Hamlet. So, 80 carry flash for mid laner flash, 1-for-1. Not the worst thing in the world, and obviously it's very good for Goth Boi that nobody actually died.
Yeah, that would have been a little tragic. Although it was almost equally tragic for MSU there because we saw From Bane. Sorry, it's a little hard to read off the stream. Trombone. Okay, it's cut off for me. But
okay.
yeah, we saw Trombone flash in there and was tanking like 2 tower shots, and then barely got out with like a sliver of health. I was like, because if you flashed under that turret level 1 and did not get that kill and died yourself, that would have been turbo feels bad.
Yeah, that would have been definitely really rough for them right there. Let's see. Both junglers did opt to start down there on the bot side, it does look like. They both had an early leash. Actually, I just noticed neither jungler opted to take the flash this game. Ghost for Hecarim, that's a little bit more normal, but Ignite for Nocturne, not something that I've seen a whole lot recently. You do see the bot lane for MSU did pop that level 2 first, but not really any huge leads, as Taric is pretty well known for his early levels.
Yeah, just thanks to the passive giving you that super fast attack speed. You also have a bit of scaling on those auto attacks based off your max armor, so you're getting a little bit of extra damage with that. That's if you do get into range, though, and
yeah,
it is very easy, at least post level 2, for Trombone as the solution to just use that Relentless Pursuit. Shimmy on out of there, any potential stuns, or even if Nahor tries to walk in, you just kind of shimmy on out, and then the chair can't auto you. And you're like, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, both of these supports are primarily disengaged supports. Like, as much as they're both melee, they're both very much better at disengaging and actually engaging. And Lucian, he is a lane bully. Jinx is playing for that 2-item power spike that she is just so well known for. I'm not going to talk about Jinx scaling. Everyone already knows Jinx, very high scaling. She can scale to 2 items as quickly as she needs to, usually around the 20-25 minute mark with that 3rd or 4th dragon on the map, which hopefully isn't a soul, but you know, sometimes it is. That's just sometimes how the timer does work out, as top side Scuttle is traded for bot side Scuttle. Bot lane is the one taking it, though, and Bird could be ganked here in the mid lane. E is not going to be able to reach over the wall. Bird does still have flash and cleanse available. Counter gank coming in from Kaysel, but Nahor is the first support to roam up here in the mid lane. Excellent stun onto Kaysel with that Ignite, though, is trading a little bit of damage. Very nicely played so far from the mid jungle duo on MSU, but mid is Demon. He's not done. He is still dashing in, but dashing in onto Aurelion Soul. Not doing a whole lot of damage this early on, and in the end, everyone gets to walk away safely.
What a sequence of events, but no one dies in the end here. Both these teams going to be at least happy that they did not lose any members there. And started off, mid is Demon. That was a pretty good gank coming on in after the Comet was down here from Aurelion Soul, piloted by a Bird. But of course, the counter gank coming on out, kind of saving everybody there. And we are just returning to this, once again, calm state here. We're going to see some abilities thrown back and forth here, Camcom, but I don't think we're going to see too much, at least until some level 6s come on the board.
Cardinals is kind of in a mini dive threat right now in this top lane. It's a very large wave underneath his tower, but Sparty, not having a jungler and not knowing exactly where mid his Demon is, does not actually play for the dive, but I mean, if that was solo queue, I think Sparty dives that 100% of the time. He's just deciding to play it safe, and, you know, I respect it.
You gotta respect when they hold back on the hustle. That, and also especially if the adaptive shield is available, the passive here for Cardinal. Well,
Aw.
Sparty probably not gonna really want to go in for that a little bit of cheeky action in the mid lane, but just a howdy ho.
We do have another mid lane gank. Midas Demon does use that ghost to try and get on top of a bird, but a bird is able to flash away from the Q on the Hecarim here. You see Kaisel and Sausage hovering here in this bush. I'm not entirely sure if they spotted them out. Nahor does see the Oracle lens over the wall, not knowing exactly who it is, but you could press tab. You see Kaisel is the only one with Oracle lens, so you could figure it out that at the very least the jungle is there, and it's safe to assume the support is as well. Oh, so they're fine.
It's in the way. Okay, I'm just telling a bird push this on out. I don't think when you're over the wall you see the oracles unless it's disabling a ward.
Oh,
I might be wrong on that.
I don't know.
But
I thought you did.
I don't think you do. I don't know. I might be wrong. Who even knows? Secure. See, there we go.
TP being used here in the mid lane by Hamlet. Level 6 just popped by him there as well, so that was kind of the one tiny frame that the bot lane of MSU did have to make some sort of play in the mid lane. Is your mid laner has level 6, of course, up on the enemy, but it's still so hard to actually gank Alessander. She has the flash, she has the E. It's once she is level 6, and obviously she has the ultimate on top of that as well. There is just so much safety built into her kit that you can't really gank her. Nocturne is going to have a very hard time with it here as well. But Cardinals roaming down from the top side. Midas Demon from behind here as well. And trapped in the Hextech Ultimatum, a bird has nowhere left to run. And that's first one picked up by Cardinals.
Oof, and maybe a little bit overkill there committing both those ultis. But the end result is the same. And the first blood, I like that Goth Boi Clique gave it over to Cardinal as this Camille. Let Cardinal hit his stride that much sooner. Let this Camille hit that point where they kind of just become that ultimatum. Well, Hextech ultimatum, I guess, if we want to go with the corny pun, in the side lane. And, hey, every bit of XP, every bit of gold here is gonna matter. Definitely gonna matter here if we do see a fight around this first dragon and top laners are able to participate. Otherwise, though, it's just gonna make Sparty have a harder time in this top lane.
Yeah, Sparty, he's actually had a pretty strong time so far in this top lane. It's just, yeah, that one kill now picked up by Cardinals could make it a little bit harder. He does have the XP lead and CS lead still over Cardinals. It's just a little bit of a gold advantage here. I can check the exact numbers. Yeah, 100 gold in favor of Cardinals. Nothing absolutely huge. So it's still mostly in favor of Sparty and him playing the big beefy tanky Gragas. Not really in any threat of dying here anytime soon. First dragon was just taken here pretty early on in the game. Nice first ocean dragon picked up by MSU.
Yep, always nice to get that. Not the earliest possible dragon, so to speak, but still decently early enough that you can look to a mid 20-minute soul here if you are turbo stacking up. The big question right now is, how's that gonna, well, okay, what's the schmoove gonna be here now that the main objective on the map is Rift Herald? Because with how deadlock a lot of these lanes are, there's not a huge lead in any of them, but a Rift Herald, oh, good cleanse.
A bird is ganked here in the mid lane, but it is an excellent cleanse. He can't cleanse both the ultimates, though, and unfortunately, Kaisel coming in a little bit late on the Paranoia to save his mid laner. Takes quite a bit of damage there from the Sandra ult as well, and he's just going to be forced to walk away. The Ignite not doing a whole heck of a lot damage yet quite yet here either. Potential 2v2 here in the bot lane. A very large wave stacked underneath MSU's tower, but I think they'll be perfectly safe.
Really hard to dive here, even though you do have this Tarek, who now is level 6, has that Cosmic Radiance. You still don't have the best setup here, unless you get Midas Demon coming on down as the Hecarim / Dead Pony. Oh, that's a bug flying by my face. That's great to have inside my house.
Did Nidus just flash by mistake? I heard the flash, I didn't see the flash. What happened?
Oh, yep. I don't know. So what I'm guessing is that they were trying to ping something,
Oh no.
or they're typing in chat like flash timer or something. That's usually the case. That's a pretty damn huge cooldown. I don't think MSU knows that it's gonna be on cooldown, but the fact that good.
Oh, 1v1 up here on the top side. Cardinals almost dying solo to an excellent casket thrown out by Sparty. One more auto attack, and that's just going to be a solo kill found on the top side. But we've got a 1v1 going on here in the mid lane as well. Mage versus Mage. The electrocutes have both been procced, so no more trading to be found between these two mid laners. But yeah, absolutely so well played up there on the top side by Sparty.
Great pickup there. Just recognizing, hey, I can bop you into my turret. This Camille sitting on only the Sheen, sitting on only the longsword. Not able to tank too many tower shots, unsurprisingly. So you're able to get a lot of damage on in here as Sparty. Pick up that solo kill, slow down this Camille scaling. That's a good stun and a counter stun. Here comes
Hamlet could have just run into his death. Does the pop that ultimate and is able to go gold, actually able to survive. And Sausage with the final Q, not going to have enough damage to secure the kill, and a bird falls to the second gank, but for the third time in this game.
Yep. And Rift holds summon top lane here by K-Soul as this Nocturne. That's actually first turret off the back of that solo kill in the top lane. You shove that wave on in, and I mean, that's a pre-12-minute first tower. That's pretty damn solid here. Still on the back foot gold-wise because of the kill difference, because of the CS differential, especially in the bottom lane. But picking up that turret here, gonna be granting, you know, a nice sizable little gold lead in the top lane. Let this Nocturne also catch up a little to this, to put mildly, snowballing Hecarim.
Yeah, Menace Demon, he's gotten quite a bit of gold off of these mid lane ganks onto a bird, of course. A bird's gold value is going to start decreasing if he doesn't pick up any kills soon here. So Menace Demon, he's not going to get crazy amounts of gold off of a bird anymore, but he can start transitioning that onto other members of his team. Okay, this bot lane is very terrifying to watch. There is constant trading. It's just funny that still everyone sitting very calmly. We're all 0-0-0. I swear nothing's happening, but at the same time, everything is.
And, okay, both junglers sizing up for a gank here. Both of them have their ultimates. I do like the fact, though, I believe we saw from Bone and Sausage go in to cancel any potential recalls from Knight of the Zed and Nahor, because this is a very low mana Jinx. It is a decently chunked out health-wise Jinx here right before the dragon spawning. Any bit of extra health you can take off this Jinx, any bit of mana this Jinx does not have to switch that rocket form and start bopping you is going to be very much appreciated if you are fighting over this dragon. And even though the Rift Scuttle was picked up here by MSU, they should have prio over this dragon thanks to the status of this bot laner. They're going to be starting up this dragon with the prio in the bot and mid lane, and they even have Sparty coming on in.
Sparty roaming down from the top side, but Paranoia will be popped onto the backline. Terragol able to keep them alive, though. You have to disengage. You can't do any damage. K-Soul, extremely strong explosive casting on the backside, though. They're still able to survive for the entirety of the Taric ultimate. You have to be able to survive that, and Trombone is going to be the next one to fall, and now a bird and Sausage. All of a sudden, the rest of your team has fallen. You're the only two left alive, and you're not be doing a whole lot of damage here if a bird doesn't have any mana. 3 for 0 plus first dragon now picked up for Goth Boi.
And that is a very huge swing. They already had the gold advantage going into that fight. It was pretty damn minor, but we see how the Cosmic Radiance interacts with the Nocturne Paranoia there, because if Seasoul not able to finish off this backline Knight of the Zed and Nahor before that Cosmic Radiance goes off, well, you're stuck in a little bit of pickle here. And unlike Pickle Rick, it's not a funny situation, sadly. And we kind of see how it plays out there. Great turnaround by Goth Boi Clique, especially the mid is Demon getting that solid ulti onto about 3 members of the MSU team here. Cam comment, that's what's going to be given Goth Boi Clique a bit of a comfortable lead now. They're now tied up in dragons, and they're getting some money in the pockets of their carries with these kills.
Yeah, now they have a 2,000 gold lead, 5 kill lead as well, which is actually pretty massive, right? Of course, most of that gold is still sitting on mid is Demon. Cardinals picking up 2 kills in that team fight does give him a window back in this top lane that with the early kill, he should have been winning, and then he died solo, and all of a sudden it was just looking real doom for him up here once again. But yeah, that double kill will close the gold lead just a little bit. Now I can check exact numbers. Yeah, it is exactly even between the two top laners. Of course, still 1,000 in favor of mid is Demon, and the other 500 split pretty evenly between mid and the bot lane. Flash onto a bird here in the mid lane, though. That's going to be a very dead Hamlet. Excellent counter game coming out from Kaisel. Paranoia dropped into all the auto attacks. Unfortunately, does not have that ignite available to get the final kill onto Cardinals. But 1 kill picked up is 1 more kill than you had a minute ago. Very nicely played.
It's one of the beauties of the Nocturne pick here. Counter gank post 6. Oh, we got a bit of a pincer movement coming on.
Bot lane could be caught out here in the bot lane. Excellent flash in from Sausage. Nahor does not have his ultimate available for just another second. Timing that ultimate cooldown so perfectly. Nahor, he fell with 1 second remaining on his ultimate CD. That is so unfortunate.
So damn close, but at least for Goth Boi Clique, they're able to equalize it in the mid lane there. Bird staying a little bit too long and a little too close to hookshot range. I mean, not going to blame them. Hookshot is deceptively long range. Either way, though, MSU picking up some much-needed kills in their pockets here, and they can look to rally around this next dragon. I feel that's going to be the big objective. They can also look towards the Rift Herald, which is spawning in just a jiffy here. Of course, second Rift Herald, we all know, yes, it's not as valuable as the first Rift Herald. There is no first tower. There are no plates on the board, but it can still pick you up that big old needed cash money, and it can still give you that nice catch 22 to just drop a free split pusher in a lane when that next dragon does spawn here, Camcom.
Sparty is going to be dove here on this wave. Nope, never mind. I saw them roaming up to top side. Instead, they're going to play for that second Rift Herald instead here, but Sparty did have a very large wave crash under his tower right there, so absolutely either Rift Herald or dive top lane. It's a 4v4 up here for this Rift Herald. Knight of the Zed, last member to get up here on this Rift Herald, and now a bird holding back 3 members. Mid is Demon going in, but has the exhaust popped. There's the Charge ultimate as well. You gotta wait a couple of seconds. You can't do damage for a few seconds here, and a bird, he's got the exhaust. He's in the 1v3. He could hold them for long, but it's not gonna be long enough. Rift Herald does fall. I believe it was Mid is Demon that was the one able to pick it up. It's another double kill coming out for Knight of Jinx, and Trombone flash over the wall. 1 HP remaining. Knight of the Zed not having the Super Death Rock available means that he will be able to walk it out. And Rift Herald was actually popped up by Sausage McMuffin, of all people.
And you know what? It worked, but it's a very costly Rift Herald contest there from MSU. They have to drop 3 members in exchange for only picking up 1 in the Rift Herald. And Rift Herald, unlike Dragons, it's not like guaranteed value. It's not something you can just sit on. You do have to be very proactive with it. And the question is, where are you going to be proactive with it? The big thing is probably going to be for this next dragon coming up in about 40 seconds, but you're not going to have some big cooldowns considering how close the last fight was. We can see the Paranoia is not available. We can see the Cosmic Radiance is not available. We can see the Hextech Ultimatum probably won't be available either. These are all big cooldowns that these members are going to be sorely wanting for this next fight, but are probably going to have to do without if there's going to be some skirmishing around this dragon.
And it does look like that Onslaught of Shadows is going to be coming up just as the Dragon does as well here. Both teams making as good of an effort as they can to shove out these top and bot lane before the wave spawns. Does look like Knight of the Zed and Nahor get to win out on the split push for the bot side. A bird, he's still hovering around mid lane. Actually, I don't think there's going to be a contest for this next dragon from MSU. They can play it safe. They can scale up a little bit more. A bird, he's getting close to that 2-item power spike that I have now learned Aurelion Soul does spike very hard off of 2 items here. Eating over the wall, but you can't eat out of the Hextech Ultimatum. He's got the ultimate, but the ultimate does not have enough damage to turn a 1v4. Meanwhile, Midas Demon, he's just stealing away poor Kaisel's red buff here. He goes in with that ultimate and does have it finally pop top. Now Casel cannot Paranoia out of a fight, can only Paranoia in a fight. He's going to try and use Paranoia, but that's not going to be able to turn it back around. And Miz Demon just bullying Casel out of his jungle right now.
Yep, and Goth Boi Clique picking up some wins across the map. Of course, though, thanks to this Rift Herald play in the bot lane, picking up that turret here for MSU, the gold is still pretty even for the most part. It's not at the critical point where you start feeling it. Typically, when it's a little more than a 10% gold lead, that's when you start noticing the gold differential, but we are just a little bit under that metric right now. So nothing too major, but something mildly noticeable, much like an itch on your back, or I guess a mosquito bite.
Don't want that mosquito bite coming from the gold lead. Yeah, I don't know. I do want to point out here, Knight of the Zed still sitting deathless. Only person on the map still sitting deathless. Very nice. 3-0-4 on him so far. 8 CS submit as well on the Jinx. That is exactly what you like to see from a, I would assume, comfort picks hyperscaling AD carry, because at this point Jinx has to be a comfort pick for every single AD carry just in this entire league right now. She has just been the top meta choice for at least the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, Newly Hill Tempo is a hell of a drag. And she also got some pretty decent compensation buffs in the latter part of last season and early in the preseason. And she got some love taps in patch 12.5b.
Yeah.
But definitely not enough to take her off the board, as we can see all these teams still picking her. And, I mean, Jinx is always kind of a comfort pick. She's a very simple bread and butter champion if you're an AD carry. It's like, if you know how to play Jinx, you'll know how to play Jinx for life. It's kind of like riding a bicycle, I guess.
Riding a bicycle, playing Jinx, same thing. Quick checkup on a bird here. He is, I believe, about 600 gold away from that second item power spike, but no time to find that when you've got another fight here in the mid lane. Excellent double play out of the back line there by Minas Demon and Papa the Terror ultimate there as well. You can't even touch the back line. Sparty TPing in, but he's TPing far too late. Casel with the Paranoia, almost turning it back around onto the jungler there. They are just about able to. Sparty taking that kill for himself, flashing over the wall. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, a bird unfortunately losing the 1v1 out to Cardinals as well.
Goth Boi Clique just kind of taking dubs across the map here, it looks like. And a beautiful start to that fight in the mid lane, just recognizing, hey, we have Lysandra, we have a Hecarim. You know, we can make things happen, and things do indeed happen. They pick up the dub. They extend their gold lead now to the noticeable point. Well, past the noticeable point, since it is about 4-ish K. They'll pick up this turret, be able to zoom on out. Oh, no. Good wall. Okay.
Nice shield there by Sausage, but without having the Glacial Fissure available means most likely not going to find any actual kills down here in the bot lane. In fact, they took the tower away from them. That is all the mid lane inner and outer towers taken. Now, before even the third dragon, well, technically the fourth dragon total, but I'm calling it third dragon because most likely Goth Boi is going to take it. It is so hard for MSU to walk into Goth Boi anymore, just with the amount of disengage they have between Taric and Lysandra. And now the fact that Hecarim is just so fed out of his mind, he can be diving in with the Taric on top of him, and you can't even touch him while he's just destroying your backline and healing off of it.
Yeah, we kind of saw that in the last fight as well in the mid lane. Like, Midas Demon literally just sprinting into the back line from Bone, trying to use the Relentless Pursuit to get out the initial engage, but, you know, Hecarim still has an Onslaught of Shadows, being this fed, having that level advantage, just kind of presses Q over and over on you, and that's when, as an AD carrier, you're like, yep, I got outplayed.
We do finally have the 2 item power spike now coming online for a bird. 24 minutes. He got the crown, he got the Rylai's, and now they could begin to pick up here on the top side as well. There is nowhere for Cardinals to run. That is a 50-second death timer. But you just sent 4 members to top lane with a dragon on the map. A bird, the only member sitting bot lane, and he is not looking anywhere near to stealing that dragon for himself.
I don't think MSU was really wanting to contest that dragon. They're like, you know what? This is a pretty hefty shutdown bonus on this Camille. Let's just all fly up there. Let's pop this Camille. Send Cardinals back to the Death Chamber. We can look to get some control over the map. Maybe look to drop some wards around this Baron pit. Maybe grab a turret or two while we're at it and bring back the gold lead just a bit. Namor coming in with a flank.
Nice flank here by Mid is Demon, and there is the ultimate coming out from Nahor as well. 4-man taunt in the backline once again, and Jinx gets to free auto. Gale Force forward, couple more autos on the Sausage, would almost pick it up. The Hamlet gets the final amount of damage. You only have Bird and Trombone left on the map. Sparty running far, far away. He is already back at his fountain. He didn't want to take the fight. He got out of the fight. He was able to live, and now that's a Baron angle for Goth Boi Clique.
Yep, Goth Boi Clique just recognizing, hey, you know what? We can just all walk up from the dragon right behind you and start off this fight that we know that you can't possibly win in. That's kind of exactly what happens. They now have the Baron, they now have Soul Point. It's definitely kind of feeling like Goth Boi's Clique game to lose at this point, Camcom, with how far ahead they are. They have the hyperscaling superfed 80 carry now on 3 items in this Jinx. They've been able to thwart any attempt from MFCU to do any sort of aggression, really, when it comes to these 5v5 fights, when it comes to trying to pop Knight of Zed on this backline. So it might just be a look towards next game here for MSU if they're not able to get a Hail Mary fight here in the upcoming few minutes.
Man, go Farino. You got the pessimistic view here, my friend. It's never over until the Nexus explodes. Everyone knows this. Come on, MSU. They're oh goodness. Oh god, Trombone. Okay. Trombone, close your eyes, everyone. Yep, nope, you didn't see that. Neither I definitely did not do half of his HP with 1 auto attack and a Gale Force forward, you know.
Yeah. Such is life as AD carry when you happen to be losing. You know what else is such is life when you're 7 as a rallying.
Oh my. Where did he, the poor Star Dragon, he just got freaking deleted. Okay, Knight of the Zed. He is going to get deleted here as well. It's a 3v2 in the mid lane, but it's not going to be a 3v2 for very long. Onslaught of Shadows is not available, but it doesn't matter when you can just smack him around with the gold in your pocket. Sausage McMuffin, not a whole lot he can do here. He's got his AD carry spawning in just a couple of seconds, but the shield goes the wrong way, and that's the FF from MSU. Oh no.
Yeah, we know we're kind of far behind here. We can just try and go next. This is a best of 3 after all. You can look towards these up and coming games. And MSU, they do kind of need to. They kind of got really hard pinpointed in that mid lane, I feel. Because we saw gank after gank in that mid lane, but they kept on succeeding here. And this was the patented Aurelion Soul for a Bird Camcom that we were kind of hyping up quite a bit. It kind of fell a little flat.
Yeah, I was very excited about my Aurelion Soul friend here as I am working on getting. All right. Boom. All right, I got it to work. Let's go. We've got our damage charts here. Okay, so we've got a Bird still doing the most damage of his team despite his very unfortunate KDA. Mid is Demon. He's just crushing it, man. That was if I had to vote for an MVP that game, I would absolutely give it to Mid is Demon. He got every single early kill. In the first 3 kills, he had 100% KP. He was the one that was able to find all of the early leads and then able to I said he has to start snowballing these onto his other members, and he absolutely did.
Yeah, definitely did, as this Heckriman worked out handsomely. And we saw how they were just kind of able to literally run into MSC's backline and kill everyone, more or less. That's the power of a Heckrim that does snowball. And not a fun thing to be facing down.
No.
Yeah, a little bit sad, and you have to keep in mind that this Nocturne was the first pick here for MSU, the pick that they highly prioritized. Of course, did not work out as expected, to say the least, because they did lose. And then Nocturne, as the primary engage for their team, will have to be giving up a lot of deaths, especially if behind, but kind of does beg the question, since the hack room was open and people tend to value that more, maybe they should have locked in the hack room.
Maybe. I think B1
Maybe.
Hack Room here could be the angle, but they do swap sides now. So Goth Boi, with their 2-ban loss, do get blue side. Do they ban the Yuumi once again with their 1 ban, or do they change it to the Aurelion Soul? I'm not sure, but we will have a short break here now, as we will find out in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. We have 1 or 2 more games for you here tonight. welcome back to BOL Diamond Week 5. Once again, I am Cam Come, joined by Goth Boi doing a funny dance to get on the
Yes.
screen here. We had Goth Boi Clique take game 1 very decisively against MSU Blåhaj, as once again they do still have their top laner E-sub, so still do not get the first 2 round bans, but you got 1 ban. Third ban. What do you think it's going to be, Goth Boi?
Well, they had an answer for the Aurelian Soul. A
They
bird
did.
was subbed out this game, so oh,
Hmm.
the Shen actually. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, I guess wanting to potentially grab the Yumi for themselves here, because since they are on blue side this time around, they can look to make the schmoves here for whatever might beat the potent first pick. Their Lysandra, though, that definitely was key to setting up a lot of the fights last game. Not going to be available. The Hecarim, though, that did kind of snowball out of control for mid is Demon. That is available. Can be first pickable if they do so, please. The Jinx,
Okay.
though, which is just such a generalist champ, and the most picked AD carry right now gonna be the Prio, though.
Yeah, I think both Jinx and Hecarim could be first picked here for Goth Boi Clique and MSU. Leaving both of them up, I would like to think means that they're just gonna handshake it and R1 or R2 they Hecarim here for themselves instead. Twitch being hovered makes me very nervous, but yes, you did mention here Go Farino. MSU has opted to sub out a bird. Moment of silence for Aurelian Soul. We won't have an Aurelian Soul banner pick in this game. Instead, we have our wonderful Void joining us for game 2. Potentially game 3. I don't know why they decided to sub them out, but that is who we have to work with, as we've got a Kindred Twitch lock-in. Goffredo, can you break this down for me? I don't know what I'm looking at.
So that's definitely gonna be a lot of scaling and a lot of marksman damage here.
Yeah.
But the issue is that the Kindred, of course, does need the marks. The Twitch also really needs to hit level 6. It is known for having an infamously bad pre-level 6 laning phase. Since you're kind of more or less not really able to do anything until you have that spray and pray. The Lee Sin got me locked in here
What
as
is
that
going
pseudo
on?
answer to Kindred. We have been typically it's the Gragas we see because the casket able to knock multiple people out of the Lamb's Respite, but the Lee Sin does function similarly that Kindred pops the Lamb's Respite, you just kind of Dragon's Rage them on out of there, and then you go about bursting this Kindred. You do have the stronger early game as well, so Goth Boi Clique definitely have some tools here to punish these hard scaling marksmen that MSU have locked in.
Yes, the Lee Sin and then Braum take away from MSU. I am very surprised that they opted to take Lee Sin over the Hecarim. They had such a strong Hecarim showing last. uh okay. I was gonna get so excited. I never get to see enchanters picked, especially Lulu. Like I would absolutely love to see more Lulus and just enchanters in general being picked. Yumi, I can settle for. I am still a Yumi hater. I don't like the cat, but as long as it's an enchanter, I do very much like it, especially paired with the Twitch. You could go submarine. Yumi, hold on to Twitch there. They can both go invisible and then pop out invisible together. So that is most likely why they did decide to go Yumi over the Lulu here, and that is kind of a funny mini interaction.
Yeah, it's kind of a degenerate interaction. I love how Yumi gets to go invisible when her host goes invisible. I think that is absolutely great design on League of Legends' best, most well-designed champion. Sarcasm aside, though, please delete the cat. And we are having some top laner bans being levied on out here, Camcom. Not too surprising, especially with some potent mid laners already being taken off the board in that Lysandra Zillion. Don't really need to pinch that pool anymore, potentially. And then, of course, taking off the Camille, which did kind of become a thorn in your side last game due to the snowballing, but you could also argue that maybe there were some other outside factors that helped that Camille snowball. Who knows?
I went to check how the other stream is going so far. Okay, so I think everyone also predicted VBU for the other match currently going on stream 2 for VBU versus Acclivity. Well, turns out Acclivity has won game 1 now in that series.
Okay.
So that is, I believe, Acclivity's first win actually in BOL. No, okay, they had one win before. I'm not too sure on which team that was, but they were 1-8 coming into this week. VVU slightly favored. I don't want to say very much favored, but they were slightly favored just because of their very slight of up in the standings against them. But you know what? Acclivity, good for you taking game one so far. Goth Boi, also good for you taking a game one so far here as well. We've got the Feathertail Fox Lady. Very common pick so far. We haven't seen her a whole lot here in BOL, but we've seen her everywhere else in every other tournament, especially pro play. And going back to Victor mid is, well, very, very standard mid matchup between these two mages.
Goth Boi Clique so far rocking a very like bread and butter standard
Yeah.
comp. You have like an engaged fighter jungler that can start off the early game. You have the scaling pick in the mid lane. You have a scaling AD carry. Very front to back. The Wukong gonna complement the team fight nature here of Goth Boi's Clique comp so far, since you do already have the Victor and Jinx who are excellent at team fights. I mean, why not just bring in the Cyclone here to make it even more deadlier in team fights?
R5 once again saved for it is, yes, K-Soul in the top lane. No, wait, it was the other way around, right? So now it is, now it's the other team, so it's still top lane counter pick. That's my point. They had top lane counter pick R5 last game. They swapped teams. It's still R5 counter pick. And that's a set locked in. Set has I believe also fallen out of the meta. I'm just gonna stop talking about meta in this draft though, because we've got a Kindred and a Twitch Yumi picked. So you know how do these team comps work over right now?
I don't really know about MSUs because I'm trying to figure out how they piece their team together. They don't exactly have like an ambush comp here outside of the Twitch. You definitely have scaling here with both your AD carry picks, but you also it's a really weird mishmash of a team, and I'm not sure how to describe it to say the least. Whereas Goth Boi Clique is very like
Yeah.
solidly able to say, yeah, they're the 5v5 front to back team comp. We kind of know how they're gonna operate. MSU, not so much. A little bit of a wild card.
When I see drafts like this, usually I like to assume that they just pick all comfort picks. So like obviously backs against your wall, you're down 0-1 in a best of 3, then you just all 5 opt to pick comfort pick. Pretend it's a solo queue game. Don't actually turn off your Discord microphone or anything like that, but still be communicating with each other, and hopefully you are individually better on your champion than just your opponent is that's what I'm gonna go with. Lee Sin. I do still like Lee Sin here. I would have liked Hecarim a little bit more, but like you did say, you can kick them out of the Kindred Ultimate. That's why they picked it. Hopefully they are able to get that little micro interaction for it as well.
Yeah, thankfully, it's not the hardest micro interaction to pull off. You just need to be able to kick a Kindred, which is, I mean, it's point and click if you happen to be in range.
Yeah.
Getting into range, not always the easiest thing if you can't land that Sonic Wave resonating strike, but who's to judge? Either way, though, I do have to agree. This definitely feels like a lot of comfort pick coming from MSU because, yeah, that's how I describe it here.
Yes.
Really, I got nothing else to say.
All right, well, predictions for game 2 here. Go Farino. Is it a 2-0 Goth Boi, or is it a 1-1 and going to a game 3 angle here for MSU? What are your predictions?
It's most likely going to be 2-0 for Goth Boi Clique unless MSU is able to get some early game shenanigans off, because MSU's comp can snowball pretty damn well with all their picks.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to shape up from some like level 1 and level 2 shenanigans. So level 1's going to be exciting to say the least, I feel.
Yeah, and MSU is kind of really well known for their level 1 shenanigans. I feel like every single game I've seen them, whether it's watching here, watching on the second stream, just anywhere that MSU is, there's always level 1 shenanigans. It usually is a bird starting it with his Aurelion Soul. Now we don't have a bird or Aurelion Soul on the team, so maybe they won't go for the level 1 shenanigans, but the other 4 members are still the same, so they very well just might. I'm also going to put down Goth Boi for a 2-0. I so want MSU to bring us to a game 3. I think that would be very exciting to watch, as especially with this team comp right here. If they can make the comfort pick team comp work, then that is just kind of the best feeling, right? It's like, nah, we don't need meta. We just need to be good at our champions. That's how you like to play League of Legends, right? And with that, we will be going to a short spectator delay here now. We had some client bugs, so it might be a little bit longer, as we did have to restart the in-game client draft. That is my favorite thing, but we will be back here very shortly in just a couple of minutes with your game 2 on the Rift. Hello, everyone, and welcome back now onto Summoner's Rift for our Game 2 of our Best of 3 here today. Once again, Goth Boi Clique taking first game against MSU Blåhaj in a forfeit fashion. It was, I think, a 20-minute forfeit from MSU, so they're playing the mental game, playing the sub out the mid laner game, and now coming into Game 2, hopefully with mental's reset, can turn the series around in their favor.
Yeah, we'll have to. It is a little do or die right now. Well, quite literally in terms of this series. I don't know about playoff standings, given that MSU Blåhaj, they're 2-2, or are they 1-3? Let me quickly check the master doc that I have up.
MSU is 1-3 right now for playoffs. They are currently sitting tied with ISU in the 6th to 7th position for playoffs. For right now, at least.
Yeah, not the best spot to be in. Things can change, though, in the final 2 weeks after tonight, of course. But Goth Boi Clique, they definitely want to win tonight because putting yourselves at 3-2 really helps lock in any potential top 4 standings, which you do really want when it comes to playoffs. Either way, though, both junglers going to be mirroring each other on the bot side. Always got to play the game of flip the coin. Does Kindred get the right scuttle spawn, or does Kindred have to wait a little longer for that first mark?
Yeah, hopefully Kaysel is able to win that coin flip. As I actually just noticed, I thought they were going to summon Void to the mid lane. Nope. They actually subbed Void into the top lane and dropped Sparty in the mid lane as well. I do believe that is another sub. Nope, that's actually, yeah, that's the same top laner from last game. So they dropped their top laner from last game mid and then brought a mid laner sub in for top. So I'm, again, just based on the draft picks that they have, going to assume that these champions are more comfortable for these players in these lanes. So I'm not going to hate on it, honestly. If Sparty's more comfortable on Ari and Void likes to play Seth, then absolutely go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if it does happen to work out here. You can see top lane Void already able to get the advantage level 1 over the Wukong piloted by Cardinal. See if they're able to keep it up, because Wukong level 1, not the strongest, does typically really want that level 2.
Oh, jeez. Okay, first blood picked up by Void. Both top laners forced to flash, but man, Void, with the set level 1, has the first blood.
Yeah, that's just chunking out Cardinal quite a bit here, and MSU's top laner in this game, similar to the last one, getting a solo kill. Of course, it is a different top laner this time around, with Sparty being in mid, but still, that's the type of start MSU really wants here on this sort of composition. Get some snowball going, because their picks can definitely take a snowball and run with it.
So far, very quiet lane down here in the bottom lane. You see a little bit of roaming action in the top side. I think that was for the first, yes, that was the first mark picked up by K-Soul. So he did kind of win the midi coin flip there, and bot side's gonna will go to mid is Demon. They have much more bot side prio than top side prio for Goth Boi Clique, obviously, with Cardinal dying level 2 up there, and Nahor Knight is basically holding this lane pretty even. Trombone and Sausage very, very weak early game, so they're just here to scale up level 6. Maybe they can go in, but probably not. They're just here for team fights later.
More or less, yeah. Hit level 6. Make some sort of thing happen in this bot lane. Making something happen.
Mid lane play here. K-Soul, excellent. One more auto onto Hamlet, but he cancels his auto? I think he canceled his auto attack. The final auto attack to proc the E didn't go off. Oh, and Sparty's going to be dead here as well. That is so, so sad for the mid jungle of MSU, man.
Yep. And it started off so well, too, for MSU, because Sparty did a nice charm. Going back in is stacking up that passive. Not enough just quite yet.
They're fine. If it was AP Twitch, maybe I would be worried a little bit more for Nahor, but no, it's just AD. He's chilling, man. Nobody's dying down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, not yet, at least. If we do see a concussive blows finish, that definitely could lead to something.
Oh, gosh. Trombone, I'm trying to sing your praises, man. Please don't die. Okay.
Do you have the gank coming in from K-Soul?
K-Soul and Midas Demon hovering around the spot lane here. They are smelling the gank, and the exhaust will be popped onto both of the AD carries. Midas Demon flashing in, but is not going to find the kill to Sausage. Instead, Trombone with that flash under the tower. He gets the kill, but he will trade his life for it in the end. And will there be any more traded kills here? K-Soul is able to keep Sausage alive, but he will be trading his own life for it as well. Knight of the Zed using that heal just to make sure that no one else is going to make it out alive. And I think they're going to dive Sausage here as well. Okay, no, they're going to let him live.
Yeah, interesting. No.
Hamlet with the level 6 up on Sparty here in the mid lane. Not having that Spirit Rush available, but just about able to live. Even Hamlet popping the Ghost there. He really wanted that kill in the mid lane.
Very, very close to getting that kill. That's what getting a kill and assist does for you. You do hit that level 6 beforehand, and MSU, they've been going for the aggression, but it's been very costly aggression so far. And we can see it's going to be the lethality Eclipse Lee Sin here for mid is Demon, our MVP last game, already up to that 2-0-1 start as this jungler who can snowball really goddamn well, to say the least, and is snowballing already pretty goddamn well, to say the least.
Let's see. First dragon is up on the map. K-Soul. I was gonna say he could play for that mark, and then I realized that the Gromp was actually dead, so I was gonna say nope. There's actually not even a mark alive for him right now on the map. Both junglers are kind of hovering around this top side, though. Without K-Soul having level 6, though, it is very dangerous for him to gank solo laners when they are 6. Midas Demon does not have that issue. Kick available. K-Soul still only level 5 after clearing the Krugs, but he is here just for some lane pressure. That wave will be crashing on the next wave, though. And now flashing on a trombone, still level 4 down here in the bot lane on the Twitch. Sausage, not a whole lot he could do here on the Yuumi, and that is going to be a second kill now picked up for Knight of the Zed.
And that's what happens when the concussive blows lands. You throw out that Winter's Bite as this Braum here. Follow it up with some auto attacks, you get the stun. And the Twitch for Trombone can't really go anywhere, especially when you throw Flame Trumpeters in their way in the river, Camcom. So,
yeah.
5-2 for Goth Boi Clique. Getting a pretty decent snowball going with pretty sizable gold lead for this point in the game. It's going to be extended even further with this early dragon being picked on up and bullying K-Soul just out of their own jungle, not able to get that blue buff.
K-Soul, man, he just wants to get level 6 off of his blue buff, but Knight of the Zed, he is a very, very fed Jinx right now in this early game. And meanwhile, they were just kind of waiting, baiting out the time for Midas Demon to solo down that dragon for himself. And not only do they get the dragon, they're also going to steal away poor K-Soul's blue buff as well. Sausage McMuffin, the support out of the jungle 80 carry support trio, is the first one to hit level 6. That is when you know it is doomed in this early game for him.
Yeah. It's a feels bad, man. You know. What can you do about it? Definitely some pretty cheeky monkey business going on in the top lane, but expected with Wukong. I think there's no level 6 yet for Trombone. They could be under threat of dive here with this pretty fed Lee Sin coming on in. How's that serrated Dirk? Will be able to pop a Twitch pretty damn quickly if that Resonating Strike does land, and there is a Super Mega Death Rocket to back it on up. Not going to see the dive quite yet, though.
Yeah, that first Rift Arrow will be soloed down on the top side by K-Soul, so he is still delaying his level 6 for a very long time, and that is the kick on the bot side on a Trombone exhaust on him as well. There's nowhere left for him to run, but the Yuumi ult on the Midas Demon is actually going to shut him down and gift the kill over to Trombone with the 150 shutdown on its head for just a little cherry on top. I am still very concerned for Sausage McMuffin. He could very easily be dove here. He is a lone Yuumi sitting underneath this tower with a fully stacked wave here as well. And nope, alright, he will be perfectly fine, but that is 3 plates for the bot lane now for Goth Boi Clique.
And all this CS as well, because yes, Trombone's able to get that mini shutdown, but these plates are going to more or less get that kill's worth of money on back. Spray and pray. I don't think it's available quite yet.
Still not level 6. Exhaust popped onto Knight of the Zed, but yeah, I'm going to check the XP here. He is 1 minion away, and that is the final minion to have the level 6 spray and pray, man. It is so tragic.
Because it's like, yes, they're so low health. I can make this play now, but because you've had to die these 3 times, you really have not got a lot of EXP, only now hitting level 6. Looks like they're trying to do a bit of invisibility cheekiness in this brush. Not gonna work out though. Just gonna be forced to pick up this wave and then deal with the very, very item differential. Yep. There's the full Gale Force. So, oh, there was a full Gale Force.
Where
It was refunded.
Okay, he's still sitting on 2,200 gold. What is going on down here? Okay.
So it does get the Gale Force. Just debating us here, I guess.
We also have a fully completed Hull Breaker up here on the top side for Void. That is going to hurt quite a bit, but the completed Tab Eyes for Cardinals makes it hurt slightly less. I do like the first buy Tab Eyes for Cardinals. It just lowers his damage a little bit in this early game, but obviously in this lane, he's not really playing for solo kills. He is very much playing for the team fight and potentially 1v4 later in this game, so just taking the early hit of boots first. I like it.
Yeah, definitely works out, especially since you are losing this top lane 1v1.
Yeah.
And the rest of the map's kind of winning for you. So you don't really need to push it. You can just take a bit of a chill pill here and go, all right, we have 3 winning lanes if we call jungle a lane, and we have 1 losing lane. Let's just keep it that way. 3 is bigger than 1.
Three is bigger than one here, but could be another dive angle onto Trombone. They are about to lose their bot lane tower without even any Rift Heralds being dropped down here. That is very unfortunate for the Twitch Yuumi duo that MSU have decided to drop mid as Demon, hovering it as well. K-Soul finally catching up on XP, very nicely done by him. Unfortunately, not quite catching up on gold. You see the completed Eclipse to just the Noon Quiver plus pickaxe for K-Soul. So yes, he is very much down in gold, but luckily not as bad in the XP department anymore, as that was a huge chunk on him. He's just hovering the mid lane, and Trombone and will finally lose their bot lane tower as well. K-Soul force pop Spirit Realm on himself. Nope, that Lamb's Respite, wrong ultimate name, unfortunately. Flashing away, but flashing out of your ultimate will commit yourself to death. And Cardinals with the flash over the wall there, as well as the Cyclone picking up his first kill of this game.
Lane turret did drop here for Goth Boi Clique, so right as this dragon is available on the map, their second one of the game, they're able to get a pick on the enemy jungler. They're able to pick up that huge chunk of gold in the bot lane and staying their gold lead even further now. Looking to just dominate the entire map, it feels like, is Goth Boi Clique.
That is almost 10 plates picked up between... Wait, no, that's the wrong side of the map. I was going to say 10 plates between top side and bot side. I'm not technically wrong. It's just 10 plates for opposite teams. So, you know, first Rift Herald was dropped on the top side. They did get 5 plates for Void, 2 shared with K-Soul as well. So, lots of gold being put onto the set top lane here. Hullbreaker, though, means he's not playing for teamfight set at all. He is playing for that split push, and at this point, I like it. MSU, they are far, far too behind to be playing for team fights now.
Mid lane for both sides.
Hamlet could be caught out here in the mid lane. Mid is Demon, though, with the kick on a case, still not able to cancel out the Yuumi ultimate, though, and with the Ignite will fall. That's a shutdown falling over to Sasha's, and Hamlet could be falling here next as well. Sparty has to flash forward, but the exhaust will cancel out his damage. Hamlet, no mana, no HP, but he just about gets to live, and that's a 1-for-1, but a shutdown falling in the favor of MSU.
And you will take that if you are MSU, since you are behind. 1-for-1s are that much more valuable for you. But then also, that was a Kindred mark you picked up for K-Soul. I don't know what they're sitting on right now. I'd assume at least two. Two, okay, yeah. One from the Scuttle, one from that kill. So, does get you closer to that penultimate 4 marks. Yes, Kindred does scale infinitely, but 4 is, of course, the big number. When you get up to that 575 auto range, which is very long range for an 80 carry, you have that extra 25 over the average. Pretty damn noticeable. Either way, though, you do really want those 4 marks. Halfway there. Just got to make the other 2 happen.
2 more for that power spike. Also, a very helpful power spike for a Kindred is having a mythic or any item, so either one of those would really benefit K-Soul quite a bit here at the 15-minute point. I think MSU, they are still down 3,000 gold. That gold lead hasn't really shrunken or grown in either direction for the past 5 or 6 so minutes, so at the very least, MSU aren't still bleeding out. It's just we need to start being able to close the gold lead. Maybe look to even have a lead for ourselves, as it is a scaling comp here. They will eventually outscale if it goes to, I don't know, 50 minutes, as that is every single ultimate burned, I think, to get 1 kill onto Hamlet. Void in a 1v4, though, flashing over the wall, he is still able to survive. Sparty with the charm will not connect over the wall. Meanwhile, that being said, he's having an excellent time farming red buff that bot lane.
But props to MSU. Despite being behind by a pretty decent amount, they are still making these proactive plays. Able to pick off the enemy mid laner there, and getting 2 kills now onto this Twitch. The second one of the game. That's a good face breaker.
Void
is available.
Oh, geez. Void is so tanky, but is he going to be taking up one more auto attack from Menace and flashing away that still is able to secure the kill for them? And now TP coming in on the backside here as well. Cyclone is not going to be doing enough damage, and oh, Sparty not going to make it into the Kindred ultimate, so he does eventually fall. Trombone, last 2 members standing the bot lane here for MSU. They can go invisible, though, and that makes it so hard to kill them. Trombone coming out of the invis. Double buffs on the Twitch available. Hamlet ghosting in behind. Trombone is still forced to run forward, but they're running into Oh, they're running into Cardinals, and they will fall. 1 kill going to each of the side laners.
Aggression giveth and aggression taketh here. MSU, it started off with that good pick. Some nice fancy footwork, but they are still behind. And it kind of shows in that fight. Great teleport in the end, though, from Hamlin. Oh, no, that wasn't a teleport, actually. That was just them literally running in from base. So good flank, though, from them to get on in there. Now, Goth Boi Clique sitting once again nice and pretty on this 4K gold lead. They have a Rift Herald in their pockets as well. Right before this first Hextech Dragon does spawn in. MSU, they are going to want to do something about this dragon. Yes, it's not soul, but it is going to be soul point. It's going to be a pressing matter that much later. We have seen that they can be proactive here, Camcom, and that this proactiveness can nut some nice gains for them. Will they be able to pull it off, though, for this dragon, especially on this item disadvantage, as well as now the Herald disadvantage?
Yes, Hextech Soul Point fight here for Goth Boi Clique. MSU, you can give this dragon. It is still in the playbook to give this dragon, but that means that you would 100% have to fight for the next one, and that would be very terrifying because you don't know what's going to happen in the next 5 or 6 minutes, right? So if you think you're going to win this one more than the next one, as that is Casel, Trombone, and Sausage going in all on their own. Mid is Demon. He just 1v3s them. There's no one else even here to help the Lee Sin, and he gets a triple kill on the 3 members here. So squishy, and now he could look to have a flank on the 2 soul laners here as well. Sparty and Boyd sitting here at half HP. They're being chunked out here by Knight of the Zed. Couple more auto attacks would secure both of these kills, but Mid of Demon, he goes in, he gets the pentakill for himself on the Lee Sin. B2, let's go.
Okay, technically it's an unofficial penta because it took a little bit too long,
Yeah.
but I mean, Goth Boi Clique just recognizing, hey, what's this Kindred doing in the river? Let's just jump them. There's no Lamb's Respite. We have this large advantage. We have the super fed Lee Sin that can blow them up, and we're going to see a Rift Herald charge onto Nexus turrets. MSU, they are trying here. This is a big shutdown available.
500 shutdown picked up now by Casel. Cardinals, he's still being run down. Trombone has the invis with Sausage on top of him here as well. Sausage thinks Casel might be slightly faster, but nope, that will just be the 500 shutdown gifted over to Casel, while the rest of Goth Boi Clique was taking that dragon. So it is now 3-0 on dragons. You got 4.5 minutes left for MSU to make some sort of play to be able to take the next dragon to stop that Hextech Soul.
Yeah, keep in mind though, MSU, they lost a pre-20-minute inhibitor in that, so they're gonna be having to deal with super minions and that whole jazz here. Not to mention the 6k gold deficit. They do have some ins back to this game. If you're able to get that good flank, if you're able to get these fights off on your own terms, get some stalling, get some snowballing, but yes, things can happen, but as we saw in that fight, one small misposition can be very heavily punished. The Spirit Rush gonna be having to blown here by Sparty.
Sparty does have the Victor ult popped onto him. Casel, very caught out here, does not have flash, has the Lamb's Respite. He's going to be forced to burn it, but he doesn't even have time to click it, and Trombone falls immediately after there as well. Sparty living with 1 HP over the wall, nowhere left for the poor kitty to run. She will fall as well. Super Mega Death Rocket is not available, so they will have to actually auto-attack Sparty here to kill him, and that really should not be a problem. Hamlet walks up, he just gets the last auto-attack onto Sparty. They are losing their Nexus Towers. Meanwhile, by the way, Void, he has to recall here to protect the last Nexus Towers, but he's just not allowed to play the game right now, man. Knight of the Zed, he's taking up this tower, though. Void flashing, and unfortunately, he's not going to be able to land that E, but the W has such a large shield and so much damage. Unfortunately, he's not able to land it onto Knight of the Zed. The rest of the team is able to respawn and stop the minions from just single-handedly winning the game, but that is an ace for no one dying, plus a Baron now for Goth Boi Clique.
Technically, it wasn't an ace because it took long enough to finish off Void there that the other members did spawn, so technically not. But in practice, yeah. Like, yeah, it's 23-8. You're down 3 dragons. You're down all these turrets. You're down all this gold. You're down all these kills. You're down all this CS. It's entering. You're gonna need a miracle here, sort of territory.
Need a miracle. Well, let's check our miracle Casel here. He's got 3 marks. 4th mark is the scuttle right here. No, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, there is kind of 4 people here around this mark. Okay, well, you know what, Casel, better jungler than I am. He knows not to go for it, but turns out he just dies anyway on the wolves.
Yep.
Oh no.
That's what I was gonna say before that whole thing broke out. Like, yeah, you're not allowed to walk into your own jungle.
Oh, jeez. Sparty, he goes golden here, but with that last charm and the last turn of the Spear Rush, Hamlet actually flashing and ghosting over the wall to steal the kill away from his own AD carry. That is quite a funny play right there. That's not a play on a Sparty, that's a play on a Knight of the Zed that Hamlet just did right there. Nahor will fall. Trombone picking up his 5th kill of the game now on the Twitch. Void, Trombone, plus Sausage. Can they hold the 4 members of Goth Boi Clique? The answer is going to be absolutely not. There's just far too much damage. Void, he can survive for quite a long time here. Casel, of course, with the Lamb's Respite survives for even longer, but the Fountain Healing isn't even going to be enough. It's 40 seconds. That timer's Void. Not even going to be allowed to recall. Can't touch his base. Can't protect the Nexus. That is a 2-0. Very nicely played here for Goth Boi Clique.
Yep. In just a second. Just a second.
Give it a second.
While we do have.
Okay.
Yeah, while we do have a second, though, there's a whole breaker Lee Sin. That's a first.
There is. I did not catch that. Did he buy that at the end?
They had it before the final fight. I saw that the Dead of Mid
Okay.
had it when they were doing that whole final fight. So it was their 3rd item. But yeah, that's the first thing. And well, okay, a first for me seeing the whole breaker Lee Sin. Yeah. Sometimes words are hard, but congrats to the Goth Boi Clique for the 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. Damage charts. I got him here. All right, there we go. Let's see. 20,000 for Hamlet, and that is just over 10,000 for both Void and Trombone. So just Hamlet, he had really insane plays that game on the Victor, but once again, mid is Demon. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think there's a question. Most consistent player throughout the series. If we were going to base on game, maybe Hamlet for game 2, but based on series, I would give MVP to Mid is Demon.
Definitely, yeah, because Mid is Demon kind of set up a lot of these plays here and a lot of the snowball for Goth Boi Clique with their ganks in the early game. And both times being able to snowball on both the Hecarim and Lee Sin here, Camcom, yeah, definitely a clear MVP here for me as well.
Let's see how the other series are doing. Of course, there is only 2 series being played out tonight. This one and the one on stream 2. We had, I believe, the Lotus versus WLS was rescheduled to tomorrow. ISU versus CB was rescheduled to Wednesday. So this series has ended in a 2-0. Acclivity versus VBU is still going on right here on stream 2. We will be rating that here in just a couple of minutes. But go for Reno. Any final words here for our beautiful Goth Boi and MSU Sharky friends?
I mean, good showing by Goth Boi Clique because we kind of rated this as a pretty decently close-ish matchup. Yes, it was Goth Boi Clique favored, but Goth Boi Clique kind of coming through with a pretty strong steamroller of a 2-0 here, Camcom. So Goth Boi Clique definitely trying to make their mark here, trying to make their statement to say, like, we're not exactly a mid-tier team. We deserve to be one of the top dogs in this league, and combine that with their win over CB Diamond last week. Hey, it's a very strong statement.
It absolutely is, and I would just like to remind everyone that Goth Boi Clique did fall to Lotus. That is, I believe, the only team. I'm going to double check my spreadsheets right here. Yes, that they have dropped teams to other Wait. I'm gonna check this just to make sure that I don't get it wrong. So they won against ISU. They lost to WLS. They lost to Lotus. Okay, that is where their 2 losses are so far. But their win against CB Diamond is definitely, I would say, their most impressive showing to this series here. This series was, it was very impressive. Honestly, maybe the CB Diamond was just more hype because CB Diamond is the returning champions. But if you're able to play like this consistently every single week coming into playoffs, here 2 more weeks until playoffs, then you got a really good chance of making the top 2 spot.
Yeah, for sure, and that's something Goth Boi Clique definitely have their eyes on. I feel. Of course, it does remain to be seen. There are 2 more weeks of regular season.
Yes.
Let's see what the schedule is for them in the up and coming weeks.
They have VBU and Acclivity
VBU.
as their week 7 or week 6, week 7 matches.
Yep, Cliffity and VBU. So should be a pretty decent path for them to a
Yeah.
5-2. Maybe they'll have some trouble in the VBU matchup, but okay.
Maybe. And with that, we will be ending our stream 1 here for BOL Diamond. We will be rating stream 2 here, as once again, they are still in their game 2 of the series. So thank you all for watching. Once again, I have been Kim Com, joined by the lovely Gopherino here. We've got still 1 more game going on right now on BOL Stream 2. And of course, we've got Plat here tomorrow night and Gold League here on Wednesday. So thank you all for watching and have a fantastic rest of your evening.